Welcome! This is a product overview of Compliance Forge's annual update subscription for the Security, Compliance, and Resilience Program, which we call the SCRP. Over the next few minutes, we will walk through what the subscription delivers, how quarterly releases work, and how updates integrate with your customized documentation. The SCRP is editable cybersecurity and privacy policies, control objectives, standards, metrics, and more. Its formatting enables CSV content imports by GRC tools. It is based on the Secure Controls Framework and maps to over 200 laws, regulations, and frameworks. And it comes with quarterly updates to keep you current on evolving requirements. The SCRP annual update subscription delivers quarterly releases of the Security, Compliance, and Resilience Program. The SCRP is the evolution of the Digital Security Program, or the DSP, which Compliance Forge first released in 2016. For organizations that already own the SCRP, this subscription is the most cost-effective way to keep the documentation current, as the Secure Controls Framework, also known as the SCF, and the underlying laws, regulations, and frameworks continue to evolve. And a quick note for existing clients. If you have an active DSP subscription, it updates to the SCRP subscription automatically. This is purely a rebranding. The content quality and SCF alignment remain consistent with what DSP clients expect, reflected in updates starting with release 2026.1 in April of 2026. The SCRP subscription is a 12-month update subscription service for existing SCRP clients. It entitles the purchaser to all quarterly releases during the subscription window, including both the Word and the Excel mapping documents. To be clear about what it is not, this is not a standalone purchase of the SCRP itself, and it does not cover other Compliance Forge products. To purchase the SCRP for the first time, see the SCRP product page. Like the underlying products, there is no software to install, no agent to deploy, no account to provision, and no cloud environment to configure. Every quarterly release delivers updated Word and Excel files, compatible with Word 2016 and newer, Microsoft 365, OpenOffice, LibreOffice, and Google Docs and Sheets. Each release is delivered as a secure box link via email, and each download includes an errata describing what changed in that release. Subscriptions deliver approximately 4 releases per year, timed to reflect significant framework revisions, new regulations, and lessons learned from customer engagements. This delivery model is intentional. Each release arrives as editable Office documents that you can diff against your customized version, review, and apply on your own schedule. There is no forced upgrade and no risk of a vendor SaaS breaking your documentation. Without an active subscription, organizations face a predictable pattern of documentation drift. There are 4 challenges the subscription is designed to address. The first is framework evolution. Cybersecurity frameworks change constantly. NIST 853 had a major revision in 2020. NIST CSF moved to 2.0 in 2024, and PCI DSS moved to version 4.0 with multiple incremental updates. Without subscription updates, your SCRP drifts from current framework language. The second is new laws and regulations. New privacy laws, cybersecurity regulations, and industry mandates are added regularly, and the quarterly releases incorporate these additions into the mapping so your documentation remains audit-ready without manual tracking effort. The third is audit drift. Auditors expect to see documentation aligned with the latest framework language. Documentation from a prior version may cite superseded control IDs, obsolete NIST guidance, or missing requirements that were added after your initial purchase. And the fourth is missed improvements. Compliance Forge incorporates improvements from every customer engagement into subsequent releases. Without the subscription, you miss clarifications, new supporting templates, and enhancements that existing subscribers receive automatically. The subscription addresses each of those with quarterly releases structured for efficient update application. Quarterly framework updates, so your documentation tracks the current version of the underlying standards automatically. A detailed errata with every release, identifying every change, which makes it possible to apply updates surgically without reviewing the entire document set. A stable document structure, where section numbering, control IDs, and outlines remain stable release to release, so your customization effort stays portable. And same-day access. Once subscribed, you receive each quarterly release within 1 to 2 business days of its publication. A subscription purchase entitles you to 12 months of updates from the purchase date. Here is what that includes. The quarterly release files. An updated Microsoft Word version of the SCRP per release. An updated Microsoft Excel version of the mappings per release. And all supporting annexes and templates refreshed. The release errata. A detailed errata document accompanies every release, listing every added, removed, and modified section, and identifying framework mapping updates and new regulations added. Delivery and access. An email notification with a secure box link per release under a single entity license. No account provisioning is required, and prior releases remain accessible throughout the subscription window. And the subscription scope. It covers approximately 4 quarterly releases, and it is limited to the SCRP only. If you also own other Compliance Forge products, those are updated under their own individual product update processes. Compliance Forge targets approximately 4 releases per year for the SCRP. Releases are typically labeled by year and release number. For example, 2026.1 through 2026.4. Timing is driven by significant framework events. Major NIST revisions, new privacy laws, PCI DSS updates, and other regulatory changes. Not every quarterly release contains large changes. Some are primarily incremental improvements and clarifications. Larger structural releases are less frequent, but deliver significant value when they occur, typically coinciding with major framework revisions. When you customize the SCRP, you invested time tailoring it to your organization, your roles, your cadences, and your tooling. Quarterly releases are designed to preserve that effort. Each release ships with a detailed errata document that identifies every change since the prior release. Rather than diffing the entire document, you apply changes surgically, using the errata as a guide. And Compliance Forge deliberately avoids structural overhauls between releases. Section numbering, control IDs, and document outlines remain stable, except when the underlying framework itself restructures. If you want a hand applying updates or tailoring documentation, Compliance Forge offers optional professional services. They are not required. The 5-hour bundle may be beneficial for companies that need some guidance on getting started. The 10-hour bundle is for companies that need additional guidance on tailoring their documentation to meet their compliance requirements. And the 20-hour bundle is for companies that need robust services beyond just 10 hours. Purchased professional service hours expire 120 days, or 4 months, from the time of purchase if unused. Hours are intended to supplement, not replace, your own customization work. And every release ships with a published errata. Erratas apply to the SCRP, its corresponding CSOP document, and bundle. Each one provides a summary of what has changed between versions, so you can review exactly what changed before you apply an update. Why does an active subscription matter? Documentation that drifts from the current framework version is a predictable source of audit findings, customer questionnaire issues, and regulatory exposure. An active subscription keeps your SCRP aligned with the current framework landscape without requiring your team to manually track every change. For most organizations, the subscription cost is dramatically lower than the internal effort required to research framework changes, update documentation, and verify mapping accuracy every quarter, especially for organizations that face multiple compliance obligations or operate in regulated industries where audit readiness is continuously required. Finally, the renewal process. The subscription runs 12 months from the date of purchase, and it does not auto-renew. Toward the end of your window, Compliance Forge will notify you by email with the option to renew for another 12 months. Renewal is optional. If you elect not to renew, you retain rights to all releases you received during the active subscription window. You simply stop receiving new releases from the date the subscription lapses. And resubscribing later is always possible. You would resume receiving releases, starting from whatever the current release is at that time. If you have any questions, please email support@complianceforge.com or call 1-307-241-8740. We've been helping organizations since 2005, and we are always happy to help.